XRP versus Bitcoin. We start with the 1 hour chart. Before I start the analysis, I want to highlight that we have a Telegram group and Twitter for subscribers who cannot get the notification from YouTube. They can join there because I share all the links from YouTube in the groups, and beside that, they can refer to the playlist to look for update rather than searching in a page. Anyway, we start with daily 1 hour chart. If we refer to our analysis when the price was within this move, we mentioned we let the price to correct before we look for next trade. And you mentioned May we can look for this one as a flat, but the way it's dropping is really corrective because as we can see, we had a divergence based on the indicator. How about the MACD as well? Okay. No, once it was the next. We move to higher time frame. We mentioned if we wants to look for continuation, we need to be quite careful in case this one turned to flat in relative to this sharp move. That's why if we wants to look for continuation, we need to get a deeper correction here because we have been looking for buy and we mentioned whoever get the buy within this range, they should have the proper management. Okay. And that's mean we're looking, if we want to look for buy continuation, we need to get the correction. That's mean if we move to forward chart, we don't need these lines anymore. This was target. And if we want to look for buy, we prefer this one turn to a deeper correction because we want to confirm this is not the correction in relatives for this for one more drop. Because if we refer to our analysis in the bigger picture, we explain that we have, if we put this one in relative to this one, we have the previous one, we have a divergence, and there is a possibility of this one turn, and this move turn to deeper correction, and maybe this is the start of the down move. That's why we need to see the confirmation from here. But we mentioned we are mostly looking at this one for continuation. That's why we mentioned if we want to look for trade, we need to be quite careful if we want to look for buy. That's why we need to see the confirmation. If we want to look for trade, we prefer this one turn to deeper correction similar to what we have here. Because as we can see, we had internal flat as well. Then how we can look for trade if we move to 1 hour chart? As I mentioned, the way it's moving is really corrective. Mostly, if this one turns to a deeper correction, similar to what if there is a continuation, we can expect to get one more drop. Then from there, we see whether we can look for reversal or not. Okay, that's mean right now we cannot look for buy or sell. If we wants to look for buy, let this one turn to a deep. So if we wants to look for sell, let this one turn to a deeper move. Then we will see whether we can take the trade or not. And even if we wants to look for buy, the best option is if we get one more drop, then from there we look for reversal. But if the price, the only, I mean, if he wants to buy from here without giving us a down move, the only way we can look for if we get the typical movement, sharp move flag. The only thing is we take the trade within this. All right, that's why we don't have any trade setup. Now we don't want to buy. I mean, we cannot look for buy without the trade setup, as I explained, based on higher time frame. Okay, that's why we want to see this one turn to a deeper move before we take the next trade. The only things right now we do, whatever the trade we had within this move, we have to start to manage it, at least book some profit. In this case, we just follow the chart. If I see any update, I will share. Thanks.